What's up, everyone? Aaron here, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at NewAge's H23B Haraldr. This is their take on the Decepticon tyrant Straxus. So I've got him in alt mode because I'll be honest with you, this might be the last time I transform him because I have no affinity towards this mode, even though it does look like how he appeared in the old Marvel comics. So it's got that going for it. But I'm just not a fan of the transformation. It's not hard, it's just very fidgety for me. And I'm not going to waste your all's time transforming him in this. I'll just cut and transform him. I'll refer you Mauricio's excellent reviews on the other versions of this mold in Galvatron and Shatterglass Megatron. I'll put links to those in the description below. But before we take a look at him in alt mode, let's take a quick look at what he comes with. Here's the box he comes in, and not gonna lie, this was a minor selling point to me. I'm not sure where NewAge is making these pop culture associations from and doing all these interesting box arts tying them in with Transformers, but it's selling nostalgia to me for sure. That's great marketing on their part. This, as you probably may know, is an homage to an infamous Batman comic cover. I never even read that comic, but I'm familiar with the cover, so just seeing it and the nostalgia of that did play a very minor part in me picking this up. But yeah, it's a cover where Bane is infamously breaking Batman's back across his knee. So fantastic artwork here. Love the little comic book Megatron here, Lord of the Black Mountain, even though Lord of the Black Mountain would be Straxus, as he is the Lord of Darkmount on Cybertron. Wonderful quote here. I mean, it's great. So, otherwise, it's your standard NewAge fare with some product shots. But awesome work there. Now, as far as what else he will come with, obviously you'll get his weapon, which we will take a look at. But you will also get 3 alternate sets of hands. Now he comes equipped with just some regular sort of fist holding hands, as you can see here. But he will also come with 3 other sets. He will come with a set of open hands. Now these are all just cast in blue plastic, but it's a close enough match to all the painted parts of him that it works fine, and does have a little bit of a gloss to it as well. But yeah, you get those. You get this set of what I'm going to call a trigger hand. So if you have a gun or something you want to give him, you can give him that look. And you will also get a set of pointing hands, all very nicely sculpted. So, and they work as you would expect. They just port into it, slide in and out. So, but here's Straxus. Well, we'll take a quick look at this. I will mention this too. I've seen several reviews of this, and everyone does have trouble with this piece staying in, but it actually stays in on mine. Now, obviously, if I pull it, it's going to come right out. But I will chalk that up as me getting a better copy than a lot of other people then. But it does seem to be a problem on other variations of this figure, or copies of this figure, should I say. But otherwise, it's just your standard sort of space tank gun thing. The blue metallic paint and the silver paint on all of this is fantastic, though. Looks great with a little bit of red accents here on the plastic, and then the gold paint here underneath. And looks good. And like I said, it does look like he appears in the Marvel comics back then. So I'll probably put a comparison picture up here or something. I'm sure I will. But yeah, not a lot else to say about it in this mode. So let's get in some size comparisons for you guys. Here he is with a couple of figures I just happen to have handy. Here's Core Class Megatron and Vecma Studios, Make Fans Toys, whatever you want to call them, upscaled Chrome Dome. And for comparison to the other 2 big third parties with Iron Factory, Run Amok, and Magic Square Blue Streak. And here's Straxus transformed. Like I said, it's not a bad transformation. The engineering is quite clever. It works very well. It's just I didn't want to waste your all's time with me fiddling around and wasting all of our times. So, but before we go any further, we will take a look at his weapon as well. And it's just painted all in silver here. Looks great, and obviously you can see it hinges out to form his iconic pickaxe weapon, and he can hold that in either of these hands. And there you go. So he can pickaxe all day. But great looking figure. Again, this figure really pops to me. I wanted him to go with my Iron Factory Dead Universe sort of characters, as he was a part of that group, and he does work quite well with them. I'll show that off later. But yeah, looking great. Just all this paint. This is a very beautiful figure in my opinion, and he cleans up quite nicely. Like I said, engineering is quite clever, and he looks good. I just he's has a very good presence for a Legends class figure. Head sculpt is fantastic here. It looks like Straxus. So, again, all of this paint. I mean, this guy is just decked out in paint. Absolutely decked in paint. So, you can see the very little bits that are not actually painted. So, it definitely stands out from where so much of him is painted. But as far as your articulation, you've already kind of seen this in Mauricio's reviews too, and that will show you also the shortcomings of this figure for me is some of these pieces are not tabbed in as well. Either that or I've possibly transformed them incorrectly somehow. But they're not the best tabbing in. It's not a big deal, but it's obvious if I'm going to try and show off articulation and stuff. But ball joint here, so you get what you would expect as far as that goes. You do have a bicep swivel and basically a double hinged elbow because of how he transforms and what he transforms into. Head is on a ball joint, so you get up and down, wiggle waggle. You can't really get 360 because of his shoulder pads, but if they weren't there, you might be able to. Not that you need to. He does have waist rotation, and as far as his hips go, you can move these little hip skirts up if you need to. T-ball joints here, so as you would expect, right there. Knee. You got ankle on a ball joint here, toe up, and you get rocker. So pretty good articulation for this mold. This is a really good mold. If you haven't picked up any versions of it, I would highly recommend at least one of them. But yeah, if you have any affinity towards Straxus, this is definitely a figure for you. So let's do some size comparisons with the Lord of Darkmount here, shall we? Here he is with Core Class Studio Series Shockwave, our boy Iron Factory Runabout, and Magic Square Perceptor. Here he is with Iron Factory Scourge and Cyclonus, and as I mentioned, I picked this figure up also to go along with these characters. Straxus, in his brief appearance in that continuity, showed up as a member of the Dead Universe crew, as you can see in that comic I have in the background. So these three would have been crewmates, so I think he works pretty well with them. And finally, as a continuation, here he is with his Dead Universe bosses, I suppose, if you will. Iron Factory Galvatron and Iron Factory Nova Prime. And again, I think he looks pretty good scale-wise and just overall look-wise with these guys. Final thoughts on NewAge's Haraldr, aka Straxus. I really like this figure. It's got a great presence. It just looks fantastic with all this paint. As you with this mold, it's got really good articulation overall. Only negatives I can think of are, potentially both subjective. Those side joints under the arms coming loose as you pose them around a little bit. Again, that could have done something wrong there with that. And just my complaints about the fiddliness of the transformation for me. You may not have that problem. But it's a very well engineered figure. It looks great. If you're a fan of Straxus from the old Marvel comics, or if you're like me and thought you'd fill out your IDW roster and with a good looking figure, then this is a winner either way, I think. Um, and if you haven't picked up any copies of this mold, whether it's the Galvatron or the Shatterglass Megatron or this one, definitely a recommendation for me to pick up at least one of them. The alt mode maybe is what it is, but I think you will not be disappointed with the results in robot mode. So that's going to do it for the review. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Have a good one. Until next time.